Right here is my Will Smith research project. Starting off, who is this guy? My name, Will Smith. I am his name. His project is Albert Paley. He was born in 1944. He mainly mainly focuses on sculpture. Specifically, he likes to tie in viewers' emotional attachment and reaction to most of the sculpture that he makes, regardless of the size or the setting. He mainly likes to work in glass, steel, brass, copper, etc. And he has done everything from public works to smaller furniture works. So we're going to start with some of his public art. The one on the left is called Zenith. It was made in 2008, specifically in Trenton, New Jersey. It was made for Trenton's transit section. I really love this one specifically. I just love really colorful art, and this reminds me of like the colors you might see on a peacock or a bird. It really draws your attention, and also just specifically the metalwork, the way that he has like the really thin pieces of wire and combing wrapped around the main piece. Is very eccentric. And then you look over to the right artwork. It's called Epcot. It was made in Washington, D.C. I believe specifically for some event, I forgot. But once again, love the color variation, specifically how he was able to do like separate gradients. Like right here on this left side, we have like the more teal triangles going through underneath that bluish gradient, and then contrast with the bright yellows and oranges. And then of course just like the starch shapes he has going around. You can tell like where he bolted or riveted everything together. But at the same time, it's like seeing these pieces and how much it must take to solder. Because in general, it's just really nice to look at. Then we're going to look at some gates that he's made. One on the left was made in Washington, D.C., specifically for the Washington National Cathedral back in 2007. This is one of my personal favorites that I just like look at only because of how intricate it is. I love the kind of whimsical, like futuristic slash fictional kind of vibe it gives. It kind of reminds me of the decorations you might see on like the movie The Wiz, Variation of the Wizard of Oz, like that kind of metalwork you might see in like a castle or the sets. It gives me like theater vibes. And then on the left, we have a stadium gate specifically for Tallahassee, Florida. I believe it's for Tallahassee University, their stadium gate. This one specifically, I just like the contrast between the brass and the copper. And again, like the intricate details, like little like ears and little like abstracted shapes, is giving like Wizard of Oz like gateway into a magical castle. Next, we are looking at specifically some glass and steel pieces. I will say the one on the left, extending vortex, made in 2014. I love the stark blue in contrast to the brass. Also the way like the wiring curves and goes down. I just like like really pretty wiring work, but specifically how the glass itself drips down and it forms with the metal. I think it does some other to the bottom right to the base too, and how fragile this must be just to make in general. Like it's not too intricate, but it's really delicate. And then on the left, you see art containment. Once again, I just love contrast and colors. The blue, kind of like the metallic shine against the more dull brass, or the more like dull copper variations. And then again, like the color contrast can give like the cracks, while still letting like the natural material of the metal through, while still appreciating the color and the greenness you have going on because it looks shiny, yet it's not extremely shiny like a piece of glass like I would see on a certain vortex. It also kind of reminds me of like I don't know why it reminds me of like a slave kind of feel because like you have like legs and then more like intricate design at the top makes you feel like you can like sit there and like I don't know, it's very magical looking. Okay, and next we're gonna look at some furniture that he's made. Honestly, researching Paley, I didn't realize he did furniture. I remember mainly learning about his wiring work, but not specifically his furniture. So on the left we have Nebula candle holders, made in 2014. Very simple, very sleek. Nice dark coloration on the I think this was brass. Um, again, just like wiring and how delicate it looks without it being too intricate. I think this design wise is like a very nice little detail to have in works. And then on the right, we have plant stand, made in 2009. Um, honestly, this one just like caught me off guard. I was really drawn to it just because of like the sheets of metal that he used to fold like going in and out looks like ribbon. Whew. And then paired that with like how he formed like I'm assuming this like metal that he flattened out and like the edges that he's able to get to this metal that curves that goes from metal down to like the ribbon piece. It's just really like it just like the folds within it. Like I know this plant. It doesn't even kind of plant wise because of the darker weaving of the metal, but then the actual brass or copper it reminds me of like more like a ribbon. So it's giving me more like holiday-ish kind of vibes, like as if you're like wrapping up a plant to be given as a gift. Just from my first observations. And last but not least, we're going to look at some of his landscape art, specifically like some not necessarily public, but just sites he's made specifically to be bigger, specifically for museums or just exhibition in general. So on the left, we have Penumbra. I think I'm saying that right. I love the narration he has with this kind of gateway. How we have like again we have like steel and copper, like again a good contrast in color. But then he also has these shapes at the top. I believe this was supposed to be. Whew, I could be completely wrong. But I think this was meant for like more like I forgot the narrative was, but this is specifically for a narrative. I just love how the silver silhouettes contrast with the darker um, backgrounds. And then again, just like the little variations of like, I guess snowflakes at the top, and you have like jagged edges, like mountains or whatever, coming out from the sides. It really gives like a good narration. And then again, like the spirals with the metal, it's just really pleasing to see like how he just cut it out and then reformed it. Yeah, no, it's just very nice to look at. And then on the right, we have EX 247 portal. Again, another artwork made specifically for a museum. I love how the silver, like how dull it looks. It reminds me of like a stone monument. When I first saw this, I was like, okay, obviously I know this is metal, but it's giving me like stone monument vibes. One for just how tall it is, but also how he's able to make it look like it's carved out of one singular piece of metal, even though like most would know that this was either soldered together or enabled together. But I don't know, it's just and again with the ribbering of the metal that folds and glides all the way through the piece, and then the clean cuts we have and like those like intricate shapes. Yeah, it reminds me of like a giant like stone sculpture someone might have carved out. Not so like from the Greeks, but maybe like kind of like Mount Rushmore kind of vibes. Pardon me. Okay, now I'm gonna look at a couple artists that kind of remind me of Paisley's work. So first we have Gary Griffin. He's specifically a jewelry smith, but he did occasionally work at bigger sculptures and art pieces. Um, well, mainly, I believe his was mainly smaller jewelry. So one of these is Blue Gate. Well, for one, not only is it a gate, like how Paisley made before, but also just the way that he has the different variations of thickness and texture in metals. We have like the stands are obviously like sometimes like folded or rated texture going on with the actual gate. It looks like yes, it looks like sticks or branches, not sticks or stems with thorns coming off, and then you see a little indication of flowers. It reminds me kind of like of a Paisley's table, specifically how like the wiring wrapped around how gave you like kind of baby plant feels. Except for this one, he uses actual images of plants. Next artist is the next metalsmith is Brent Kington. He mainly worked in blacksmithing, but he during his work he loves to incorporate blacksmithing back into contemporary art values. And so here we have on the right we have Icarus made in 1981. This one specifically, I love the texture he has going on. Not only is like the darker mill, but like gradients like the black to the red or like the dark orange, just nice to look at. But also love again just like the fact that you can see the textures. And I think he used some kind of like patina to make sure that all these darker areas come out. Kind of reminds me I know, like kind of reminds me of like this bird, which I guess would go with the same narrative as Icarus, if we're going with the same mythological narrative. And last but not least, we're going to be going over Charles Wilton Brain. He's specifically a goldsmith. He mainly works in smaller pieces, mainly jewelry or pins, but he has a couple like more handheld sizes. But in his work, he loves to incorporate metal textures, but specifically the folds and textures. So here we have one of his pins called Dancing Pins. Just right off the bat, like of course we have this beautiful fold along with like the rolled texture here, but we also have these like nice glass ornaments, which again going back to Paisley's use of glass and metal together. I love how foggy transparent this is. So it gives it's almost as if it was like actual like a smoke dome that one might use in like those like really fancy um dishes. But I love how it almost reflects the gold. It might be like the lighting, but also like use of wiring around like this really thin wire used to hold this whole like tin section right here at the top. Also shows very intricate detailing in terms of how he likes to, even though it's like relatively small, it's still very like thought after. And yeah, that is all.